Hi, loves. Me and Michaela back with the Christ Phoenix Wedding Academy with Sananda Yeshua the Christ and our beautiful divine family. We hope all is well with you, loves, and the peace, love, light, oneness, and truth that we share with you and we send to you as we are one, loves. For the second video of today, April 22nd, 2024, we are going to address a topic that some of you may or may not understand, and that is the concept of dark versus light, or the contrast between dark versus light, with Sananda Yeshua. But before we begin, loves, I asked Yeshua to address something for all of you that you may or may not be aware of, and I will let him further explain this so that all of you are aware. And again, loves, if you want to book sessions or donate to the Academy or follow any of our sisters' links, you may do that using the official YouTube channel links provided in the channel itself. Only share us with open-minded and open-hearted brothers and sisters, please. Keep an open mind and heart when listening to the messages of light and love that we are giving you, rather than focus on the title. Look at the title after you watch the message or listen to the message. Okay, so first, I call upon Archangel Michael, once again, to abide with me, Michaela, in and around the mind, body, and spirit, and brothers and sisters who come in contact with this video at this time, with the purest intention of only truth, light, love, peace, oneness, strength, and divine protection around the mind, body, and spirit of all involved. Next, I call upon Father, Mother, God, loving source of all, to abide with your daughter Michaela and all your divine sons and daughters equally, as we are one with you, Father, Mother. There is no separation within your love, light, truth, peace, oneness, strength, and divine support, and divine wisdom, and divine protection. Next, I call upon Sananda Yeshua the Christ to abide with me, your beloved Michaela, within and around the mind, body, and spirit, shielding from all darkness or demonic infiltration, as I do not consent, do not consent, do not consent. I am a clear, open, pure channel for your energy, Sananda Yeshua, within the purity of truth, light, love, peace, and oneness, within and around the mind, body, and spirit of myself and brothers and sisters who come in contact with this video at this time, with the purest intention of only light and love be given. And so it is done. Having said this, loves, now I'm going to turn it over to Yeshua so he can address some things that have come upon us and to make things clear about how and why I am not responsible for what is said out the mouth. Even though Yeshua is using the vehicle of the body to connect and communicate with all of you, it is not my words, it is the words of Sananda Yeshua the Christ. So therefore, I asked him to dive deeper on this subject and the subject of the contrast of dark versus light, and right and wrong. And again, loves, take what resonates and leave the rest. And we love you all. So Sananda Yeshua, whenever you're ready, you may begin. Within the purest intention of only light and love. Indeed, greetings once again unto you, beloved children of God. beloved and holy friends. I am indeed your beloved brother and friend and equal, the one you've known simply throughout time and space as Sananda, Yeshua the Christ. And I have yet again come forth where you perceive oneself to be, dear ones, as the Holy Child is indeed one. For in truth there is no separation where love abides. It is with a great joy that we honor you and abide with you in the oneness of all is. It is in this way, through this, our beloved Michaela, that we speak yet again, resonating the words of truth to the heart of one creation, that which is you, the Father, Mother, God, Abba, with a capital Y. You are that which I am. We have been asked by our beloved to, shall we say, simplify yet again how one Yeshua is responsible for the words that is spoken through the mouth of our beloved. She, in truth, has no clue of what is yet being spoken until she indeed listens to it on what you would call playback, just as you do, dear ones. Does that make sense for you? So therefore, precious friends, and please listen carefully, when you are thinking the words are indeed Michaela's, think again. The words of truth are of one Yeshua. The words of peace and the words of light and of love and wisdom are of one Yeshua. I am responsible for the words that are yet spoken. This has nothing to do with our beloved Michaela. This is her choice and decision to abide with us, to connect you to us, dear one, our beloved brothers and sisters of light divine. She serves as my personal conduit, dear one. Many upon your planet have been, should we say, up in the air, in your terminology, about what is to come in your Holy Mother the Earth, time and space of 2024. For many of you are cowering in fear, rather than standing in your power. Indeed, precious friends, focusing on what one Yeshua would and would not say. When I indeed made the statement of shit hitting the fan, everyone that is in fear took offense to that. This was not of Michaela's words, but of one Yeshua. I am just indeed as you are, precious friends. There is no difference between you and I, dear ones. I had many human embodiments, many feelings and emotions that go along with your duality, time and space. For if I had not known anger, pain, sadness, hurt, lust, love, pleasure, greed, power, all the emotions of the human embodiment, I would not have been relatable to you, whether through something I said or did 2,000 years ago, or since then, dear one. Does that make sense for you? I am indeed, as you are, the Holy Son of God, daughter of God. We are all one in the Christ consciousness of love and light, dear one. So one need not project onto her, our beloved Michaela, about your, shall we say, misperceptions of what you would feel as though the Jesus character that you have been taught to perceive and believe in is one Yeshua. For I am indeed Yeshua ben Yosef, not Jesus Christ. for indeed that is not my name, precious ones. All that Michaela is serving for is love and light. She serves as the, shall we say, middleman for one Yeshua and our family to connect with beloved brothers and sisters, enabling you to hear the words of truth yet again through the mouth of one Michaela. Even though they come through the mouth of Michaela, she has no clue what is being spoken nor said, dear ones. So as she would say, you cannot shoot the messenger, but listen with the heart rather than the physical ears of man and its misperceptions, dear one. She is not accountable for the words of one Yeshua, for I indeed am. She is indeed my mouthpiece, plain and simple. She is a pure open channel for one Yeshua. Does that make sense for you? She is doing this out of the willingness to partner with me and connect with all of you beloveds at this time. So one cannot say that Michaela said something when it was actually one Yeshua. When one is refusing to perceive the truth within oneself and one's environment that is, shall we say, slowly unfolding, you recoil in fear, do you not, dear ones? You restrict your consciousness and your concept of the thinking from the heart, but rather you use the egoic consciousness to, shall we say, perceive from fear and deception. You are not standing in your power, dear ones, and therefore, when we make statements or predictions, it is not from Michaela doing the words. It is through her filter, yes, indeed, but the truth that one Yeshua is presenting onto you, dear one, through the filter of Michaela, is not her words, but one Yeshua. For I am indeed just as you are. Does that make sense for you, dear ones? And now, dear ones, we will move into the topic of the light versus dark, and the contrast that which man does not yet know. For it is indeed said, there is no right and wrong. There is only choices of man's consciousness, dear ones. Does this make sense for you? But it is only by man's perception of dark and light, and your labels, dear one, that presents itself to be either of love and light or darkness and deception by man, dear one. Man created labels, dear one. Man's consciousness is responsible for the labels that your societal structures and political systems and governments have taught you, dear ones. Good, bad, pretty, ugly, dark, light. All these are constructs of the mind, dear one. The mind of man. They are not of reality with the capital R. For the only reality is that of perfect love that all is. Therefore, we will say unto you, dear ones, a lot of you may say, well, Yeshua, if there is only choices, is there dark and light? Yes, indeed there is. The dark ones are the Draco-reptilians that chose to work for satanic beings. And the love and light beings that surround you now in your current space-time are of the Father, Mother, God, Abba, that chose to serve humanity for the highest good of creation, to serve as the beings of many, shall we say, concepts to facilitate love, be love, give love, receive love, and extend only the good, the holy, and the beautiful. Man created darkness out of their egoic consciousness, perceiving that one is anything but love, anything but light. Man's consciousness was deceived by the ego. For the egoic consciousness, or of man's consciousness, will say things of fear and deception, such as one is unworthy, one is not good enough, one is not strong enough. All the disempowerment words of man. That is part of darkness, dear ones. That is of deception, power, and greed upon your planet, dear one, about you or another beloved brother or sister. It is indeed that simple. Therefore, dear ones, and please listen carefully, there is an equal contrast. You have to have the dark versus light to equally experience both sides of your duality, that which you yourself have created. For the world is not outside of you, but rather within you. This simply means what is going on within your consciousness is what is being projected outward, so that the physical eyes may see and the ears can hear, dear ones. Does this make sense for you? When man chose to fall out of alignment with the one source of all that is, in its slumber of duality and illusion and separation, that has become known as your fall from grace. This fall from grace is your man's perceptions of being unlike love, being less than love, being less than truth, less than powerful, less than peace, less than oneness, and the wanting and desiring of man's consciousness to be separate from all that is. But in truth, beloveds, you cannot be separate from the one source that all is, for it is indeed within you. The kingdom, queendom, Father, Mother, God, Abba, is indeed within you. The kingdom is at hand. Does this make sense for you, precious friends? The concepts of your societal structures, such as dark and light, light and deception, or love versus fear, has been made up by man's ego to make man perceive that they are less than love, that they are in need of living in fear upon your Holy Mother the Earth, dear ones. Does this make sense for you? Indeed, dear ones, you have to have an equal contrast of good or bad versus light and dark, dear one. For in truth, there are no bad choices. There is only choices, dear one. When one puts label on your quote-unquote bad choices and decisions, your perceptions are limiting the God itself. You are restricting your power, dear one. For indeed, precious friends, it is not you living the life, but the Father, Mother, Abba living through you, dear ones. Not my will, but thine be done. For indeed, I and my Father are one, as indeed you are, dear ones. For indeed, You are God, dear one, and the feminine and masculine forms equally united in Christ consciousness, dear ones. Does this make sense for you? One has to have dark versus light in their duality experience so that one can learn and create and choose and be what they wish to be and decree from, dear ones. For you indeed have your divine free will given unto you by that which is the Father, Mother, God, Abba. Does that make sense for you? You choose the path that one goes down upon, dear one. Whether you go in love and light or fear and darkness, you choose that path for oneself. No one and no thing is outside of you, dear ones. It is that simple. You are the power. All the power given under heaven and earth has been given to you equally as it has been given to one Yeshua. For the Holy Child is but indeed one. Does that make sense for you? It is that simple. Love is simple. Fear restricts and retracts. Fear is of darkness and deception and man's misperception and missing the mark, dear ones, where love relinquishes and releases and is all things. For indeed, precious souls, love heals all things, abides in all things, embraces all things, accepts all things, transcends all things of fear and deception, dear one. Does that make sense for you? You are indeed light and love. Some of you may be going, yeah, but Yeshua, if we're light and love, how come we have to have darkness within us? This is an equal opportunity for your consciousness to experience separation. Even in truth, there is no separation. For your beloved brothers and sisters are indeed one with you, as you are indeed one with them. For it is not of the physical vehicle of the body, but the spirit that all is but one. Therefore, dear ones, one is responsible for oneself and one's choices and one's discernment and decisions, dear one. It does not fall upon another beloved brother or sister. If you are perceiving in fear and restriction and deception or worry, you are indeed projecting it onto yourself. If you are perceiving in light and love, you will receive that which is light and love. Does this make sense for you? What you project, you begin to perceive with, dear one. Perception equals projection, dear one. The perception of man is projected outward upon your Holy Mother the Earth as a collective consciousness, dear one. For all is energy. And the energy is carried out through the ethers, dear one. This is why it is important to think with the heart rather than the egoic consciousness, dear one, but the heart of the one God that all is, the Father, Mother, Abba, and not to place blame upon another beloved brother or sister for your own misperceptions, dear one. For that is a concept and construct of the egoic tendencies, dear one. For the ego is looking outside of oneself for someone to blame. To be in fear, a reason to blame someone or something else for their own choices and decisions, dear one. Does this make sense for you? It is indeed all within you. In truth, precious friends, And please listen carefully. When you are projecting onto another beloved brother or sister, you are indeed sending it up and out of your awareness onto them. Because you, beloveds, do not want to deal with it. Rather than dealing with it as one should, you project it up and out onto them, dear one, out of your consciousness. By giving them power over you, dear ones. For you indeed are the power of now. The power of refocusing, reclaiming that love and that oneness that you are, as indeed I am. Therefore, precious souls, we say unto you that you cannot blame Michaela or anyone else for anything that one Yeshua has stated, dear ones.